In this video, we'll be looking at the SmartDevil Dust-Free Box Series Glass Screen Protector. They did provide the sample for review, but as always, that does not affect our opinion in any way. So the idea of this screen protector is that they do have a sort of box you put your phone in, so you don't have to worry about getting all the dust off of it or anything. You just kind of put the phone directly face down into the box, pull this little tab, and the screen protector is installed. So it should be a much more seamless screen protector installation compared to the average one. So this is just the box that it comes in. You can see some of the specifications and all that on the front, but we'll go ahead and open it up here. We do have these two separate boxes inside. This is the actual kind of installation chamber with the three separate screen protectors inside. Then this other envelope just has the cleaning cloths, dust removal stickers, and all of that. So in theory, you won't really need the dust removal stickers, but it's still nice to have them included. But you should still go ahead and wipe down your phone and everything before installing the screen protector, just to get off any fingerprints or extra grime or stuff that the dust removal box won't necessarily remove. So we'll go ahead and check out this in here. So as you can see, we do just have these three separate little packets here. Each one is a film installation toolkit. We'll go ahead and use one of these now for the first step. So we'll just go ahead and open up this first wet cleaning wipe, and then just wipe out the front of the screen here. Again, it's not necessarily to remove any dust because in theory the box does that, but it should just be to get off any fingerprints or if there's any other grime or streaks or thing like that. Because of course the box can't really do that. So you would just be getting kind of the fingerprints and stuff off as you would with a normal screen protector installation, but the difference is you shouldn't really have to worry about the dust, so that part's going to be super nice. So we have that ready. We'll even let it sit for a minute here just to potentially collect some dust on it to make sure it all gets off just for the test. So we'll set it off to the side here. We'll go ahead and open up this box here. So you can see we have some instruction manuals, and then we do have three screen protectors inside of here. Here's another kind of tip sheet. There's one screen protector, second one, and then the third one is kind of installed. As you can see, we have these little tabs at the top here. So the idea is you just place one of these screen protectors down on top of these tabs. It will kind of lock it into place at the bottom here, and then we can put the phone in, but we'll show you that in a second. Screen protectors themselves are very durable. You can see you can kind of bend it and you won't have to worry about it breaking or anything. So here's just the installation box with the screen protector that came kind of pre-installed. Again, once you've used this one, it's pretty easy to swap it out for one of the other two if you want to do it again. But we do have some dust on the screen, as you can see here. There's a couple little specks all around. We already have wiped this off and dried it and everything, but again, you can see some dust kind of collecting just from it sitting out in the room. So that is really normal, and normally you'd have to use those stickers to remove it, then probably have to pick up the screen protector and take off some extra dust because there's bubbles and all that. But in theory, the screen protector installation method will do all that for us. So it should be as easy as taking this phone, pushing it face down here. Then we just go ahead and close this box. Now we can just pull this little tab and that will release the screen protector and remove all the dust and everything and adhere the screen protector to the phone. So we'll just go ahead and pull on this now. You see the little tab coming out. Keep pulling it down. And then we do have the part that was protecting the screen protector from the adhesive, of course. Then we're just going to go ahead and push on this centerpiece here. It does have a little foam block, as you saw, so that is in theory just kind of adhering the screen protector to the phone. So you want to give it a nice even push all around, but primarily on that little foam block in the center. And now in theory, when we go ahead and open this up here, we should be able to just take our phone out. And we do have the screen protector installed. There are some bubbles here, as you can see, but it should be pretty easy to just kind of push and get those out. The fact that there's not any dust is huge. That's by far the biggest thing. We'll check better in a second. First, you do want to just kind of push on all the corners and everything and make sure it's really adhered. All right, we were able to get all of the air bubbles out. I will say it took quite a while, actually. In the end, it was a little bit hard to get some of those smaller ones out. So there weren't any bubbles caused by dust, which is a huge improvement over a normal screen protector, but I will say there were quite a few air bubbles, a lot more than I would expect, actually. I even did the installation twice just to make sure, and both times there were quite a bit of air bubbles that took a while to get out. So I'm a bit surprised by that. Again, it does remove the dust very well, which is nice. That's usually the biggest problem by far, but you do have to play with it for quite a while to get all the air bubbles out. It'd be nice if they included a card or something to help you with that, but using the combination of a cleaning cloth, your fingers, and then maybe like a credit card or something to kind of push them out, you are able to get all the air bubbles out. So it does work in the end, but I will say it has even more air bubbles than a normal screen protector in my experience. So it's a little bit of a negative thing, but I think the fact that you don't have to worry about dust still makes up for it. In terms of the quality of the screen protector itself, so as you can see here, it is definitely pretty scratch resistant and such. We can take some scissors and kind of go at it with some scissors. You don't really have any issues at all. There's nothing wrong with that, which is super nice. A lot of screen protectors would already be leaving scratches and you can see them on the screen, but we'll go ahead and get it in the light here and you can really see that the scratching is not doing anything to the screen protector at all, which is definitely a good thing. You're not going to have any scratches or anything on your screen protector making it look worse after time. So that's super nice. It is also hydrophobic in theory, so we can go ahead and get a bowl of water here. And using this little dropper, we'll just kind of put some drops on it and they should just slide off the screen protector. So you can see it is hydrophobic, which has that nice coating. So even if you're using it in the rain, it won't have any worry with water getting on it or anything, which is really cool. But the coating also means you won't have to worry nearly as much about fingerprints or other things getting on the screen. So in theory, all the water kind of just slides off. There's a little one that's staying on there, but if you tilt it to a high enough angle, in theory, that drop just slides off as well. So that's super nice. Definitely a very effective hydrophobic coating, as you can see. So overall, I think it's a very solid screen protector. The installation was very easy. My only complaint, as I said, was about the air bubbles. There were quite a bit of them, even compared to a normal screen protector. But I think when you're comparing the time to take out actual dust from the screen, it's definitely worth it still, because this does remove the dust very effectively. It does just leave a few more air bubbles than I'm used to. So that part's a bit surprising. I wish it did deal with the air bubbles a little bit better, but everything else worked very well, and the actual installation literally took 10 seconds. So not too much to complain about. The screen protector itself does feel very high quality. It's not leaving as much fingerprints as my previous ones. The hydrophobic coating does help a lot with that. And then also, like I said, if you're using it in the rain or something, then the water will just literally run off the screen. So that's super nice. It's very scratch resistant, as I showed you as well. And it is very flexible. So even if you were to drop your phone as such, I think it'd do a good job of absorbing a lot of that impact rather than having it go onto your phone screen. So overall, it's a very solid screen protector. The main improvement would be removing those air bubbles. But other than that, I think it's definitely a very solid screen protector that's a lot easier to install than most.